YouTube, it's Kari, your sidekick, and today I'm playing Kill Confirmed on the map Tremor. I absolutely hate this map. I almost never do very good in this map. I go 31 and 16, but I get me a nice little triple kill at the beginning, and I got all the way to 8 kills, and someone killed me right before my 9 kill streak, and that's pretty frustrating because they killed me with a pistol, and I was in the better position, but also still a little juggernaut, and I only get to kill I think one person with it, but you know, it's a pretty fun game, so I hope you guys like it, and yeah, let's go. So today what I want to talk about is how I got into gaming, because I could definitely see this being something in the future that people might want to know, and I think that a lot of guys want to know, how do girls get into gaming? You know, is it something that you just got into as a kid? Did your family get you into it? Did a boyfriend get you into it? Did, you know, just guy friends get you into it? So how'd you get into gaming? So today I'm going to talk about how I got into gaming. So my earliest memories of video games are probably around the time I was 5 or 6 years old. I had a neighbor guy friend who we were best friends, and pretty much everybody that lived in my neighborhood as a kid was guys. There weren't a whole lot of girls, and I was quite the tomboy anyway, and I get along really well with boys, and we would hang out all the time. And what we mostly would do is, there was some woods behind our house, and we would go back there and we would build forts and tree houses and go swimming and play in the dirt and just, you know, do stuff that guys like to do. But I really liked playing his Nintendo 64 a lot. In fact, I think I probably annoyed him at times, because there was times I wanted to play the Nintendo 64 and that's all I wanted to do, and he would rather be outside, you know, doing stuff that boys want to do, and I just really wanted to play that Nintendo 64. The only game I really remember playing a lot with him was GoldenEye. I just thought that the jail level was so cool. I loved trying to just run around in the jail and find the golden gun, and I don't even ever think I really played the objective, but I really liked that game a lot. And Super Mario was another game I can remember playing. I also thought it was really cool and colorful and everything, but again, I don't think I really knew what I was doing. And other than that, I think the only game I did kind of get the objective of that I really enjoyed was Pokemon Snap. I was huge into Pokemon as a kid. I still think Pokemon's pretty cool, but only the original 150, because I don't know any of the other ones after that. And all the other guy friends that were in the neighborhood, they all liked Pokemon, and they got me into the card game, and we actually played and stuff like that. So I really liked Pokemon Snap a lot, and I just thought it was such a cute game, and it was really fun, and I loved it. So probably around this time, I was going to return either 6 or 7. It was one of those 2 birthdays, and my parents asked me what did I want for my birthday, and they took me to Toys R Us, and we looked at a bunch of toys and different games and stuff, but I pretty much had my heart set on a Nintendo 64, and I told them that that's what I wanted, and they were really trying to convince me to get a PlayStation, and I'm just like, no, I want a Nintendo 64. Like, I love the Nintendo 64, I love playing it at my friends' houses, and they get tired of me always wanting to play it, so that's what I want. So I opened my birthday gift, and my parents actually got me a Nintendo 64, and it was like the best day of my life ever. Like, I really wanted this gift so bad, and they got it, and I hooked it up right away, or my dad probably did. And I remember I didn't really own any games. We went to Blockbuster a lot, we rented games, and I remember getting Diddy Kong Racing, and I thought that was super fun, and Pokemon Snap, and I had so much fun with it, but that was really short-lived because I only got to have my Nintendo 64 for about a week before my parents told me they were going to return it. So my parents had thought about it quite a bit, and they told me that they were going to return the Nintendo 64 and get me a PlayStation, because PlayStation had better games and better graphics and more games to choose from, and so that it was the better console. But I was trying to explain to them that, you know, I'm 6 or 7 years old, graphics don't bother me, and the PlayStation doesn't have games that I want. It doesn't have Mario, it doesn't have Diddy Kong, you know, it doesn't have Pokemon, it doesn't have the games I want. And I cried and I begged them not to take my Nintendo 64 away. You know, it was my birthday gift, and they made me so happy with this, and now they're just going to take it away. So I probably should mention that my parents were pretty young when they had me. They were actually teenagers, and I think that their thought process was that they wanted a PlayStation, and if they were going to get a game system for themselves, or, you know, for their kid, why not just get the one that they want? And I think they thought they would play it. And honestly, my parents never played my PlayStation, so looking back, it's still, like, really horrible that they took the one thing I really wanted away. And they were quite jerks about it, too. Pretty much were telling me, look, you can either have a PlayStation or you can have nothing. So I think when you have kids that young, you really can't realize that you should put your children before yourselves. So that definitely sucked for me, and it's really been hard on me my whole entire life. That was one of my worst childhood experiences. So obviously I decided to keep the PlayStation because I didn't want nothing, and the games I remember playing as a kid then were Crash Bandicoot. I think I had just about all of those games, and I thought I was pretty good at it, but they were, real simple kid games, and they're fun and everything. And oddly enough, I remember really liking Tomb Raider. I know I got it on a demo disc, and I thought it was pretty cool, and I ended up getting all 3 of them, and I thought I was pretty good at it. I probably wasn't, but I liked it a lot, although I thought it was a really scary game, especially like whenever bad stuff would, get ready to pop out at you. Like in the first one when the T-Rex came out, that was so scary. I hated that part, and even the raptors were scary, and the spiders and the bears, like that whole entire game was just like really scary, and I can't even believe I liked it at all, but I did, and I had a lot of fun playing it. Other than that, the only other games I can really remember ever playing was MLB, which is weird because I was never really into baseball, and even still I'm not really into baseball, but I've always kind of liked the MLB games, and I had a lot of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters, but I'll talk more about that game when I get to the PlayStation 2. So, at about 14, I was really getting sick of the PlayStation, and PlayStation 3 had been out for probably a while now, and I remember telling my parents, like, that's really what I wanted for Christmas. And they were just pretty much like, there's no way you're getting a PlayStation 3. They're $400. We don't spend $400 on you, so yeah, you're not getting one. So when I was 14 for Christmas, I got a PlayStation 2, which even though I really wanted a PlayStation 3, it was a big step up from PlayStation 1, so it was a good gift, and I had a lot of fun with that one too. The game I definitely remember playing the most was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, because right around this time, I was still pretty tomboyish, and I had a lot of guy friends that skateboarded, and I skateboarded too, but I wasn't that good. I really could only ollie and kickflip, but I could only land it with one foot, and so I really wanted to be good at skateboarding, so I played a lot of Tony Hawk, trying to, just act like I knew what I was doing, and I wished I could be, like all those skateboarders on that game, but after a while, Tony Hawk got old, so then I had to start looking for some new games to play. So I started asking some guys at high school, like, what do you guys like to play? And some guys told me that Bully was really good, and I got Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, but I was, like, not good at it at all. I didn't even know what to do. And then I liked DDR and Guitar Hero. And for the first time ever, I really started getting into this game, Resident Evil 4, that I had seen over at my uncle's house when his roommates hadn't let me play it, and I thought it was really cool. And so that was one of my favorite games for the PlayStation 2. But then, shortly after that, PlayStation 2 started getting old, and it just kind of sat there for, like, a long time, and it didn't really get played anymore. At about this time, I got my first job at a music store, and me and my boss became really good friends, and he was really into video games, and he's definitely the person that got me into video games as much as I am today. He had an Xbox and a PlayStation 2, and so he'd let me borrow his PlayStation 2 games, and one of the games he let me borrow was Ghost Recon, the original one, and that was the first game that ever really made me like shooters. I'd never liked shooters before Ghost Recon, and I thought it was great, so much to the point where I wish that they would make it for either Xbox 360 or Xbox One, because I've played the other Ghost Recons and just none of them has been as good as the original one. So I finally saved up enough money to get an Xbox 360. I had a refurbished one, but it worked out fine. I never red ringed it or anything, and I took really good care of it. And I didn't have Xbox Live at the time, so the only 2 games I got at first that I could afford was CoD 4 and Modern Warfare 2. And I obviously, really liked those games, but after I completed those, then I had to find some more games to play that were cheap and kind of old. So I remember I got Battlefield Bad Company, Resident Evil 5, Assassin's Creed, Army of Two, and Halo Reach, which Halo Reach was the most expensive game I had bought at the time. And I didn't even like Halo, and I didn't like the game at first, but I forced myself to play it because I spent so much money on it, and by the time I got to the end of it, I thought it was great, and that was definitely the game that turned me into being somewhat of a Halo fan, so that was, a really good thing. So then I finally got Xbox Live, and pretty much all I did was play Modern Warfare 2 for several years, and I'd play it for 8 or 10 hours a day, and I got obsessed with Call of Duty, and I pretty much got to where I just didn't even know there was other games besides Call of Duty, because that's all I played. So when I was 20, I was able to land a holiday seasonal position at a local GameStop, and that really helped open my eyes to realize there was other games besides Call of Duty, because my boss, when he looked at my Xbox Live profile, was just pretty much like, the last 5 games you played were Call of Duty. Because it was like Black Ops, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, because that's all I played. And so working there, I definitely got to meet a lot of cool other gamers that were like, hey, check out this game. This game's really cool. I think you like this game. Check out this game. And when you work there, you get to kind of rent stuff, for a week so you can check it out. So that was nice. So I got to check out some other games that I never would have ever thought that I would ever like. One of those games was Skyrim. I never would have gave Skyrim a chance if it didn't work at GameStop because fantasy is just not for me, so I never would have ever played the game. But I heard from a lot of people that it was a really good game, and it definitely was. So, after working there, it opened my eyes to a lot more vast variety of games, and I play pretty much everything from shooters to action adventure to fighters to whatever now. So that's how I got into gaming. I hope you guys think it was pretty cool. I do want to say that I probably won't do any Let's Plays because I don't want to spoil the game for anybody else. And at least with multiplayer, the game is different every single time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.